What's up, guys? It's D22-soso, Wayne Chiang of Live Bike Poker Stream. I am a poker commentator on Live at the Bike, and I've had, as of 2020, about 18 years of professional cash game experience. I'm not much of a tournament player, but as JJ De La Garza mentions, if you're a winning cash game player, as long as you adhere to tournament fundamentals, you realize it's about survival, you play the hands relatively well. Even if it's not optimal, you should be plus EV, especially in soft fields. So that's where we're at right here. I final tabled, came in second and first in quite a few global tournaments. I cashed in the beginning of quarantine. As of right now, it's early November 2020. Dry spell, about up to 3 weeks. I've min cashed a couple and busted a lot of them. In tournaments, if you're just dealt losers, the losing hand, you just can't do anything. You're always forced in those positions. So don't get carried away by all the glam of just winning these things. Even the top X players, top 20 players in the tournament, they, a lot of them aren't going to cash, and it's about the long-term expected value of their performance. So this hand, we have pocket eights in the small blind. Unless it's cutoff bet and button raises, I'm probably gonna place it. So the button, I think he limps. So people can be timing out because they want to increase their chances of going deep, which is annoying, but it's a thing. So he does limp. I think I pot it. So it's about 5x. In tournaments, you want to just get value. Don't play tricky. Bluffs, maybe small ones. You definitely don't want triple barrel bluff. So I flop a set. I get very lucky. So I'm going to bet half pot. I want, if he has a piece, to stay in, whether it's a king or pocket pair. So it turns a diamond. I'm not that concerned because obviously there's a bunch of diamond combinations, but it pales in comparison to say king X, 8x, 4x. He has a draw. He has a backdoor spade draw. He has ace queen with ace of diamond. Just all these random, or jack 10 of spades or something like that. Just a lot of combinations that they don't make the flush, so you don't have to be that scared when the third diamond comes. So I do bet half, and then he quickly calls. So when you quickly call on a dangerous board, it usually is not a strong hand, because usually people are deceptive and they want to mask that they have a strong hand. So they may take a while and then call, and that's when you should have the red flags a little bit. Quick calls are usually something with showdown value. So on the river, I just decide to shove and hope to get paid. I am lucky to get paid. And then that's kind of the first hand. So at the beginning of the tournaments, you want to chip conserve. I made the big mistake of just playing too many hands early on when I was playing tournaments, treating it like a cash game. Feeling if I had implied odds that were plus EV, it's worth doing that stuff. But later I adjusted my mind, and some tournament pros also mentioned to me, no, you want to save your chips for your big hands. If you lose 20% of your stack early on, it doesn't seem like much, but then when you pick up a big hand like aces, kings, or ace king later, and you have a lower chip stack, then you're oh, I should have just saved it for this opportunity. You want to maximize the big edges, not hopeful thinking. So yeah, and you always have to run so good in these things. Even tournaments I min cash, I faded, I won a lot of hands, I faded a lot of stuff, and of course winning them or final tabling them, you just have to fade so many bad things. It's rough if you're a professional tournament player. So I'll be showing every single hand that I have in this tournament. So if there is a discrepancy with chip stacks, it's not going to be a lot. It's probably because I just folded the blinds, folded the small blinds, which if it's self-explanatory, I'm not going to go over. So here it's going to be a hand where folding me on the button, 7-5 suited, I'm going to steal 3x. You don't have to do this. Okay, I get min raise from the small blind, which definitely not going to fold. I do have to be wary that he has a big hand, aces, ace king, set of queens. So he bets half pot, he's stringing me along. I have a pair, so I'm not going to fold, but I'm going to be wary that he has a big hand. Third diamond's unlikely as a diamond draw, it's more likely as a made hand. So he's going to check to me. So either I feel like he has already made a full house, or he is scared of the situation. I mean, sounds dumb to say stuff that obvious, but Like, you know, it's a very polarized board. We see the three diamonds, we see the ace high board. It's going to be hard for him to put me on a 7. Maybe he has kings with a king of diamonds. Like, a lot of things can go down. So I've tripped 7s. Definitely going to bet. I bet almost pot. He quickly calls. So, you know, good if I'm obviously having the winning hand. If he's trapping me, so be it. I have a strong hand as well. This happens quite a bit in Hold'em, or all forms of poker, but especially Hold'em. We're very aware of like what's going on. So out of position, he bets 1,000. He bets 1,000 to 2,360. So yeah, now I'm getting wary that you know, he did turn a full house and his hand was invulnerable, and now he, you know, wants to get paid in case I check behind, which is a high possibility, even if I have like ace rag or something like that. So I'm definitely not folding. I'm not sure if I should be raising. Like, it maybe I don't get called if I raise. Like, that's something that's not just your hand strength. It's like, does he have something to call? So I just call, and I'm good. He has king queen. It was doing kind of a blocker bet-ish. While it may not be a raise in these smaller tournaments, you may consider a raise in the sense that like people just don't fold. So even though he had a weak hand, I'm not going to presume he's not going to call. So it might have been a mistake for me not to raise. But then again, if he wakes up with like aces full or queens full, then I seem like a genius, right? But these are the things you have to consider. It's a very micromanagement situation, which I do applaud JJ Lagarza. He's very good at this, just like knowing his opponents and being able to squeeze out every little bit that he can. You know, just knowing the player field. So here's hand 3. It's going to be folded to me on the button, ace 3 suited. Of course, I'm going to raise. You can min raise or 2.5x, which if you're playing in cutthroat tournaments, it's probably more advised. I'm just raising a 3x. I get 3-bet from the big blind. It looks like he's not going to fold, so I'm going to trust he has a real hand. So I'm just going to call, getting 1 to 2, and if I flop, you know, hit the board in some way, I might just go with it. So it's jack 6-6, 2 clubs. Of course, I do not hit anything. He opens ships. I have nothing. I'm just going to fold. Back to me on the button. You know, I'm okay 3xing in these small tournaments. He ships, you know, queen 8, no good. So just going to fold. So here I'm just going to ship small blind against big blind, queen 3. I get snap call by king jack. Of course, make quad queens because I'm the best player ever. But in all seriousness, you got to get really lucky in these tournaments. And, you know, I just double up here when I easily could have busted at this juncture. So here we're at hand 6. I pick up ace queen in the low jack and 3x. You know, definitely not folding. Just waiting it out. So I'm gonna, if he ships in, I'm going to call because of his chip stack. He only has 4.8k, so I'm gonna be getting 3 to 1 in the call. Because unless he has aces, I actually have odds to call, regardless. Oh, he does call, and I flop. You know, it's just all going in. He moves in, I, you know, call. He's got open-ended. Oh, he hits the king, and I get lucky with the redraw with a diamond. So, pretty standard hand on both points, I guess. He could ship pre, on which I'm going to call, but, you know, I like his line of stop and go because he may have fold equity. Say I had something like pocket 9s or pocket 8s, you know, if he ships a queen 10-2, I could be deading as a queen, or, you know, he could semi-bluff me. So I do like his play. So this is hand 7. I raised under the gun, and it's king queen suited. Small blind calls. I'm going to c-bet if it's checked to me. Big blind folded pre-flop, so he looks like he bets out, and I'm just going to give it up. I can't contest. Here we have hand 8. It's limped the round. High hijack limps, button limps, so I don't really know the ranges. I do have overcard, or two overcards, gut shot, so I do bet out. I'm not sure why he called. He could have an overpair higher than a 5 or just hit a 5. Anyway, I have no pair, and he could have flopped a straight too. So I check, and he does a good bet. He's protected because there is an all-in. So I'm just going to give it up. I do believe he bluffs me here. He does bluff me, and I would have rivered it, but I gotta say kudos to him for the play. Not much to say. Pretty hard for me to continue unless I just commit, and I have a large chip stack. I don't really need to do that. So folded to the hijack, but there's only one blind, so it's considered like the cutoff. I raise king jack suited, and waiting for the button. Clearly okay playing the hand, but I just take it down. So here's hand 10. Somebody is all in, which is why I opt to ship here, because I don't want to like raise fold. I guess I could raise fold. The blinds are small enough, but whatever. I do want ISO and take it down. And the guys to the left of me have awkward chip stacks too, where I want to discourage the deep stacks from contesting when I take it. I take the side pot actually. We're off to hand 11. Have pocket jacks unless something obscene happens. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be playing this regardless. I just feel like bet all in or something. So this guy does go all in. I'm never folding jacks, but I am gonna take the max timer to raise my chances of finishing in the money, letting other people bust out. So I do call. He has king jack suited, normal hand. I flop a set. He needs runner straight or a king, and I fade it. Obviously a cooler on his end. He's never folding that. Pre-flop. Hope you're enjoying this. If you are watching this on YouTube or livebike.com archives, we have a lot of special content with YouTube members, condensed episodes, so there's no shuffling in between. You get special emojis, and also you're going to get special content like this, so stay tuned for more poker. Here, so I have 8s in the cutoff, obviously raising this. It's between shipping or like min raising and maybe folding or maybe inducing a raise, but I just take it down. So this is hand 13. I got jack 10 suited in the hijack. Hashtag I shove. All the people behind me have lower chip stacks than me, so it's it's about 10 big blinds. I'm just prefer not to raise folds, or if I'm gonna do that, I want maximum chance of fold equity. Oh, so this guy comes in and ace queen. I flop a jack. So I make trip jacks. Clearly I get lucky in the situation, but this is how much luck you need in tournaments. It's like, all the charts say jack 10 suited, definitely a shove there. And then you get caught against a better hand, but then you get outdrawn them only like a little bit more than a little bit less than a 3-1 dog. But, LOL documents. So here we have king 8 in the cutoff. We have an all-in the big blind, so I feel like this is good enough to show down, and it would be a side pot if the small blind folds. So I am going to raise. Okay, I got caught. I'm definitely not calling off here. So hand got caught in the cookie jar. And then, we get to see his hand after I fold. I am timing out to max my chances of finishing in the money. And he does have king 9, so I did make a good fold. We're all in protected. So yeah, that's basically a lot of stuff, observation of your opponent and so on. And, if anybody's all in pre-flop. Here we have hand 15 and 16 of ace king suited in the big blind. Obviously not folding in this spot. I'm waiting for the timer to tick down to maximize my chance of finishing in the money. or deeper in the money. Wait till last second to call. It's a cooler. He has ace-7 off. He's obviously never folding in a spot. This is how much luck goes into tournaments. You could play well, but you know the cards are going to be the gods a lot of times. Next hand, I pick up pocket queens in the small blind. Blinds are 2,500, 5,000. So it has to be some crazy permutation for me to fold this pre. Like the first 3 guys like go all in, or 4 people move all in, and I just like have to put something on like aces or kings. I have 8.5 big blinds, so I'm just going to ship. I'm going to wait for the timer to go all the way down. And he will do something of such, and I will take it down pre. And this is the hand right after, so I guess it's hand 17. Somebody ships in the hijack for 2 big blinds, so I'm going to go over the top like he's a freaking tourist. Ace-jack suited. And everybody's just, you know, timing out to finish deeper in the money. He has ace-5. Oh, he flops a 5, I flop a jack, so he needs a 5 or run over into diamonds. He doesn't get it, and I take it easy game. So hand 18, we pick up pocket 7s. This guy's all in, not even for the big blinds early position, so we're going to try to ISO 3x. If we get re-raised, I guess if we get re-raised by the small blind, we might let it go. Or, sorry, the button and... Oh, okay, I just shipped it. I wasn't going to let this one go, so... Yeah, I'm definitely okay with the ship, and I get coolered, because there's no way I'm folding 7s in that spot. And I'll lose a little bit of chips. So here we're on hand 19. I saw this guy ship light, so I like a couple hands before, so I'm not giving him credit, which is why I go over the top with ace-7 off. And this is one of the things about paying attention to your opponents. So you could do thin plays like this. Of course, he flops a 3 and makes a full house, and I get lucky hitting the king there. But this is he had ace-3 off. I do recall him having like ace-6 off earlier and just doing this play, so I had a hint. Obviously, the charts say don't do this, but that's the power of observation. You want to see what your opponents are doing so you can exploit them in the future. Not everybody plays ABC. So here's a weird one. I'm in the big blind. The guy's all in front of me, so he's all in for 2K, and I have 12K in the big blind. So we're gonna wait and see. If the small blind folds, I actually get a sizable side pot by default. He does fold, so I check it. I get a juicy side pot, and my 10-3 outdraws his 3s. The problem with low pairs is that, overcards are always slipping with you, whereas the mid pairs or the high pairs, they're not always the case. And here we go. We got the pocket rockets on the button. I believe this was the luckiest part of the tournament. We're on hand 21. Timing out. And I move in. I believe I catch 2 premium hands, which is again LOL donkiments. I play well, but I catch ace king, ace queen. We're clearly supposed to call in these situations, and I just stack them both and get a ton of chips. So here in hand 22, this was probably one of the more interesting hands. Min raise. I have ace-6 off in the small blind. I have an ace. I don't think I should fold. I do flop a 6. I'm going to check. I do have the ace of spades, so I do have the backdoor spade draw. I'm definitely going to peel 1. Hands of min betting. Definitely calling. A lot of stuff going on from me. I'm going to use the full timer. I do hit the spades, so I have the nut flush draw. I check after taking max time. I do have showdown value. He checks behind. So this is interesting because, look, does he have ace king? He doesn't have an overpair, or else he would have bet the turn. Would have put me in. I don't think he has a jack. Don't think he has an 8 if he has a legitimate hand. I do want to range merge and get ace high to call, as well as if I'm going to be paying off anyway, I might as well be betting, or else he could just have an easy value bet if he has any beat. So I do min bet. And I get called, and he has pocket tens, which kind of makes sense. He wanted the free. He didn't want to get blown off his hand because he had the 10 of spades. So that was an interesting hand, but I think the range merged in the end. Maybe I could have bet a little larger. I don't know. I just wanted to show down my hand, and possibly get value out of like an ace high or a pair lower than 6s. Here we're at hand 23. So we have a little raggedy 10-6 off. And we're all taking our time. There are 14 players left. I'm 7th in chips. Oh, I remember this hand. This was pretty interesting. So I'm calling flop second pair, maybe good for, you know, one street into showdown. I do check. So what's interesting here is he fast bet, and I'm just like, what do you fast bet here? It's a timing tell, so I'm just gonna rip and risk that he actually has nothing and have fold equity, and I don't want to give like ace queen, ace jack, you know, jack queen jack a chance, and I was correct. So that's a timing tell I've learned over the years playing online poker, having over 10-year online poker history. You need to know what normal play is before you apply these timing tells, because in my spot, when he quick bets, I'm like, what do you quick bet there? Like, if you have a real hand you want to get called, like, you know, even king jack, you probably want to get called by like 10x or a draw. You want to take your time, but he quick bet, so I think he wanted me to fold, and you know, I just went with it. I could have been wrong, but through experience, I feel like it was a good enough guess to just go with the situation. So here we're on hand 24 and 25. Jack 10 suited in the cutoff. I'm just gonna open ship. That's a little like 10.1 big blinds. I'm just never gonna fold. Most of the software says to ship in this spot. You could do some exploitative like min raise and folds against certain tight opponents, I guess. So I have pocket sevens. Gonna play this hand. This guy's all in. He doesn't even have a big blind, so I want to ship for the dead money. Hopefully everybody else will fold and just, you know, have more equity in case he has 2 overcards. So I do ship. Against ace jack suit, I do have the 7 of clubs. I know it's hard to see. So I have them crushed and drawing dead. So you got to get lucky in these things. So nothing else to say. So here we go. We have king 2 off in the big blind, min raise on the button. You can do a nitty fold. You can call and play post flop, I guess. So I do flop a 2. I do have the king of clubs. I do open ship. Oh, because I'm getting 2 to 1. So yeah, I was just gonna flop a pair or a draw and just like go with it, and you know, I take it down. That's, you know, pot odds. What's going on here? Next hand, I have 6-3. What do I do here? Do I rip it? Oh, I think I just fold, which may seem like, you know, I'm just timing out because we're in the last 2 tables and I want to maximize my chances. And in certain circumstances, if I think the big blind's a folder, I might actually ship there and just like risk that he doesn't wake up with a real hand. And here, presuming I win the hand, I'm happy to pick up jacks. Mid position, I'm just going to ship all in. Looks like 12 big blinds. Seems pretty standard unless there's some way to exploit a raise fold or induce raise and then call, but I don't think that situation. And I just take it down, which is always a good result. And here we pick up king queen in the small blinds. This guy ships. I think I should be calling. I mean, I guess if this guy goes over the top, I wouldn't call. But we're in the final 7 now. Yeah, I reship and I have him dominated. Oh, he's got open-ended. And he doesn't get there. So, easy game. 6 players left now. And I pick up ace-king, the hand after. You know, presuming I win, you got to get, and I must win because I win the tournament. You got to get lucky in all these spots. You could wake up with aces, kings, a pair, and just like, you know, win. Because of ace queen, I'm obviously in really good shape. He has enough flush draw, and he bricks. So from here on out, we're just going to play out the rest of the tournament, and I'll do commentary over it. So there's 4 players left. Queens hold. 4 8s offsuit, definitely too weak. Folded to the small blind. He's going to ship. A little bit of garbage. Let's see if post-flop play commences. Oh, okay. I'm getting 2-1. I definitely call. So I have 2 live cards. I hit the 2. Again, got to get so lucky he can hit 8 or a queen, and he does not. So you guys see, I've had several hands where I got lucky. I should have been eliminated, or yeah, should have been eliminated, or king went in with the worst. You know, mostly trying to play odds. So set of 7s, and set of 7s holds. I had a gut shot. But you just play as well as you can and just hope your stuff holds. Not much you can do. I do have an incentive to let these guys self-destruct. They have the pressure. Again, cooler, ace-4 against ace-queen, but ace-4 flops the 4 along with the ace. And now we're heads up. Oh, just kidding, we're not heads up. He still had more chips. A lot of these times I could bully as the bigger stack because I could raise, or okay, I guess I fold. I could have bullied him and just like forced him to ship or fold pre, but I guess I decided not to. Now that we're, you know, in the last table, we don't need a timeout. We actually legitimately just, you know, use our time to think. So here was a limp and a raise. Not quite sure. If I were the small blind, I would tend to have a raise or limp back raise. Maybe threaten to limp raise, but limp instead of like limp fold, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, they have their own player dynamics, so I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not in tune with what they're going through. So this guy just ships, jack 6 off. Not going to do it. I have the luxury of just waiting for these guys to potentially clash. So I'm just going to let the small ones go, hope that they clash, or I hope I pick up a big hand when they're going to pick up a big hand. This is a very nitty fold, but again, I am the chip leader. Like, I can wait for them to battle a little bit or me to pick up a better hand and not risk myself. I've like self-destructed so many times to talk to Saeed El Harak, and just like, it's just common that we play things like a cash game. So ace king against queen 8, again, get super lucky, trip queens. You know, I'm definitely not folding there. So you guys can count how many times I've been lucky, almost 10 times. So, you know, what can I say? He's got the wheel draw and the nut flush. He makes a wheel, so I get unlucky here, but I've been lucky so many times in this tournament. Not much to say. And now we're about even chips. And if he's going to limp on the button, I'm just going to try to bully and presume he doesn't have a big hand. Of course, he could be trapping me. You know, I'm just going to be in a shove fest. Yeah, definitely going with this no matter what. If you have it, you have it. Pocket tens, just running good in this tournament. There's not much to say on top of that. Queen 9 probably going to go with this. No, he's not. Ace Jack definitely going to go with this. King 4 suited, it's fine, you know, for him to go with. And I win. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Obviously, I feel like I made minimal mistakes. I may not have played some spots optimally, but overall it's pretty solid, and just judging by the chip stack, staying out of people's ways. The big difference between tournaments and cash games is tournaments about survival. So a lot of these situations where you let other people compete against each other, you can steal the blinds, or you avoid conflicts where you know, people may be battling because they put their chips in light, and then, you know, you could take advantage of the situation, and if one of them busts, then you can move up in the pay jumps. So hope you enjoyed this. I have more of these to come, and a pre and post thank you to Brian Arakaki, because I know he's going to do some editing for this later.